All right, guys, joining us on the show for the first time. This next man is just days away from fighting on Dana White's Contender Series this week, taking on Bruno Oliveira, representing City Kickboxing. Mr. Marvelous himself, Carlos Ulberg, joining us live from Las Vegas. Carlos, welcome to the show for the first time, man.
What's up, guys? Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, man. It's great to have you on the program, dude. Listen, it's been a crazy one because let's go through this timeline a little bit about how you got here and 2020 in general, because 2020 has been nuts for all of us. But for you, it's been absolutely nuts as well because you helped Israel get ready for UFC 253, which means you were in quarantine in the gym at CKB. Then you flew over to Fight Island. Then you came home and quarantined. And now you're back in Las Vegas for your own fight with another upcoming quarantine when you get home. So all in all, man, break it down for us. How many days did you actually have out of quarantine in New Zealand in 2020?
Out of quarantine, it's been a bit of a rush, but it was amazing actually. Just with the whole trip over to back from here, Las Vegas the last time with the boys when they fought in Abu Dhabi, and then also back home. Being in lockdown for 2 weeks, the quarantine that we had over there was quite good because I got to spend a bit of time with the boys and got to sit down and gain a bit of their energy and a lot of the things that they had gone through, especially with their fights. And it was really good for me to be amongst all the boys. So it was good for me and for the team to build the culture. So, yeah.
It's funny, when Israel was making his UFC debut, he sort of spoke about how, he visualized a lot of this stuff already. Do you feel like this kind of has helped you make your UFC debut because you've seen so many guys now, fight in the UFC? You kind of know what to expect. You're not just making this fresh debut, so to speak.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of it is to do with manifesting and visualizing everything. So whilst we were in the quarantine and the trip with the boys in their fights, I was doing the whole visualizing and manifesting everything as well. So firstly, everything will happen in the mind, and then physical appearance. So there was everything kind of fell into place during the whole experience. So it was good.
The Fight Island thing must have been pretty crazy as well. I mean, I know you were over there helping Israel and the boys, but what was your sort of fondest memory from that whole experience? Because I know throughout that whole time as well, you were kind of staying ready just in case you had to fight too, right? In case anyone fell out, in case anything happened.
Yeah, 100%. Well, already myself and Blood Diamond, who just fought on the weekend as well, we had to stay ready just in case we had someone pull out of the events, obviously with the COVID happening. And I stuck around my weight, 93. At the moment, I'm 93, and I'm pretty healthy. I'm good, and I'm ready to go. But I've been ready to go for quite a while now, and we sort of just kept everything steady and try not to overeat or eat too much ice cream as we did.
Well, I was going to ask you, man, once this fight is all said and done, I mean, Christmas is around the corner, New Year's. What's the first go-to meal that Carlos is going to hit up as soon as this thing's sorted?
Oh, bro, fish and chips, man. What else? Fish and chips back home, mate. I'm on the beach this summer. It's summer in New Zealand, so I can't wait to get back home and have fish and chips or on the beach with the boys. So, we're looking forward to getting back home as well and having a quarantine with the 2-week quarantine with the boys. So myself, Brad, and Izzy already planning some things that we're going to do when we're in quarantine. So excited for that too. So with that said, I'm going to stay ready because it's going to be a busy 2021 coming up with this fight. So yeah, it's going to be exciting for me.
Just quickly, Carlos, what are you guys planning for the quarantine? You mean fight related stuff or just like fun stuff? What are you guys planning?
Lots of games, man. Lots of games. We've got this chessboard here in Vegas, so we're going to take it home and just do lots of games and lots of parties. Lots of gaming, man. Just enjoy each other's company as we did with the last quarantine back at home. And that was the most important thing, was building our culture and each other's energies was really good. So getting to know each other in a different higher level was the most important thing for us. and yeah, and I'm actually really happy to have Brad and Israel. I couldn't have had any better peoples to corner me, and to have both Israel and Brad knowledgeable and very experienced fighters alongside me and friends, So I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yeah, 100%, man. I was going to ask you, like, for those outside of New Zealand who may not know that much about you, you've been absolutely killing it in King of the Ring in New Zealand, a stellar kickboxing run. What made you want to begin the transition to MMA?
Yeah, well, New Zealand's fight sport it's been massive for a long time, and King of the Ring has been a really good circuit for all of us Kiwis, kickboxers, and people who want to transition into MMA. A lot of fighters are doing the King of the Ring just to get our names out there, because it is a good circuit to get into before we head out into the UFC and big things like that, MMA, and just to get our stand-up experience. So to have 3 fights in one night in the King of the Ring is massive, and also to actually get the title is even better, so it's sweeter. And now the transition to MMA, I've always had that thought to be an MMA fighter or to be in the UFC, be the light heavyweight champion in the UFC. So it was a matter of me getting the things right, as in getting my stand up right, making sure my check game, my distance is all right before I go into the big stage. So now that this will be my debut in American soil, I'm definitely confident and comfortable in the ring, or as you might say, the octagon. But yeah, I'm comfortable with my stand up and also my ground game. But my stronger point is the stand up.
Dude, I got to bring this up as well, because I think Luke Rockhold is in a little bit of trouble, because we see apparently the Bachelor New Zealand has been headhunting you for quite some time now. Not once, but twice. That's a record breaking. I believe that's record breaking. Tell us about this. Why are they after you so badly? They're almost like Henry Cejudo with this Alex Volkanovski fight. They just won't give up.
I don't know, man. I mean, because I was in quite a few other shows in New Zealand. Mr. Lava Lava, and also Bro Game of Bros. So I've been in that realm for a while now, and I guess when you're in that television circuit, you're kind of you hear people talk, and New Zealand's quite small, so I don't know. They just said, "Oh, well, what about this guy?" So yeah. I don't know. But with them, it wasn't my thing. I was more focused on my fight career, and I've been visualizing this whole UFC world champion for a long time now, and it didn't just happen overnight. And I know it's going to happen. So it's just a matter of me doing the right things and making sure I do everything that I visualize.
I mean, I'm a little bit obsessed with game shows and reality TV. It's like one of my little side hobbies. I got to ask you, man, if you could be on any reality show or game show in the world, what would you pick? There's Ninja Warrior. There's the MTV 2000 Classic Next, Fear Factor. There's that Japanese Tiggy program where they run around and tag each other. Stand out for you?
Gladiator, bro. You remember Gladiator?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be the one, eh? That'll be the one, Gladiator. There was another, or even like a cooking show. I reckon that'll be
a cooking show.
A cooking show.
I mean, that's awesome, but I wouldn't expect it from a good-looking guy like you. I would have thought something different.
Hey.
Well, I want to see you and Brad on My Kitchen Rules or something. That'll be pretty.
Or even what's those when you build the houses and stuff? That'll be pretty.
Yeah, the block.
the block. Yeah, the block. That's
cheaper prices on things that you need because people are too afraid to bring the price up on you. Take your King of the Ring belts with you to the side. Yeah. All right. Well, we know that you mentioned it before. We got to bring it up. Brad's there with you in the room. He helped us set up the camera. Obviously, almost the UFC veteran already on an amazing run himself. And then also Israel's there with you as well. Unfortunately, Eugene Behrman couldn't make it down because he's back in New Zealand working with the team. You mentioned what it means for you to sort of share the quarantine and share this experience with the guys. But I'm curious, on fight night, I've seen you mention that apparently those are some of the voices that stand out to you when you were fighting a King of the Ring. Sort of preview what the coaching and what it feels like to have those guys in the corner with you going into this fight, a Dana White Contender Series. And I guess, what is it about the advice and the insight that these guys give that make them the optimum corner for you going in on Thursday?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Eugene is busy with Junior Farr, who has a very big fight coming up. So I understand that he's got to be there with the team there. With a fight with Joseph Parker, understandable, very good. And to have Brad and Israel, who I respect them very much, because like you were saying, them in my last 2 King of the Rings, both of the King of the Rings that I had won, the voices that I heard was Brad and Israel. And not only that, it's their voices, they're very knowledgeable, man. And I know that with their experience, and I know with the height and length that Israel has, I respect that. I get a lot of, because I've been sparring with Israel for a while, and I know that the things that he would do, I'd like to do as well, because of our length and our height and everything. So if he was to say do this, I'm like, okay, yeah, that'll work for you. Okay, I'll do it too. And obviously he's the world champion. So, and then also with Brad, he's very knowledgeable all round. He's very with the stand up and with the ground game. So it's very good to have them in my ear when I'm sparring. The most important thing though is they're not. They have a very calm voice. One thing that I hear with Izzy when I'm fighting is, hey bro, don't worry, you've got this here. Maybe look out for this, and it's just very calm. If you have someone who's stressing out, calling out numbers, then you're in there trying to do your thing, and it's like, okay, you're trying to do this, you're trying to think about numbers. The guys hearing your corner call out numbers, so they're trying to look out for you too. So it kind of plays with your mindset too. So they're very calm, and I couldn't have it any better to have both Brad and Israel, who are both calm cornermen. I'd say I haven't had them. I have actually had Brad in my corner when I fought in China, and he was amazing too. So yeah, like I said, I just couldn't have it any better, and it's a dream for me to have them both.
Yeah, 100%. You're also fighting Bruno Oliveira, who's coming in at 36 years old, and this really looks like his sort of last shot at making the company. We know he likes to come forward, sort of control the octagon and bring the fight. What are you expecting from him here?
I expect that he's going to be very strong, and he's definitely going to come with guns blazing. So I just seen him outside. I said, hey, what's up, bro? And he put on a strong face, But he comes from a very good gym, American Top Team, and they're very knowledgeable as well. So I'm not going to go in there thinking that, hey, this guy's a bit older and try and walk all over him. I'll go in and I'll play my game smart, and I'll do it how, how I know how to do my game. So I'm not going to try and knock him out or anything, but hey, if it comes, it comes.
Wait, so you ran?
I respect him. He's going to be strong, man. I'm not going to try and. I'm not going to go in thinking that this contract's going to come easy. To have in my mind that, hey, if I win this fight, I'm in the UFC. It's great, and I feel so amazed. But I'm not going to think it's going to be an easy one, man, for sure.
So he was trying to sort of mean mug you when you ran into him. You just went for like, what went down? You just went up and said hi.
He's Brazilian. He just got here. We've been here for a couple of days, us boys. So we're happy, man, and we're chill. But I think these guys just flew in or just got in. And I gave him a quick fist pump, but he was like, hey, what's up? But we're happy. I'm good, and I'm on weight. I'm feeling great. And I'm, killing with kindness, as Brad would say.
When I look at this matchup, I think Bruno's going to try and sort of draw you into a war, or he's going to hope that he's going to be able to get you in the pocket and get you swinging and get you into a lot of these wars like he's had in the past. And I've seen you sort of talk about the fact of how important it is to stay disciplined in there and sort of stay to your game plan. So to take us into that a little bit, because I believe, he'll be in there trying to do a lot of that old school stuff of just trying to bully you around, trying to lure you into, just a war in the pocket, and sort of try and get his best chance of landing his shots on you, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose that's how you might put it. But when you're in there, everything changes. You might have a plan for this, but you got to have a plan B, C, and everything else. But hey, I can have a war too, man. I know how to throw a punch and I know how to take a punch. But again, they are 4-ounce gloves, I believe. So a little touch could just drop anyone. So I'm ready for anything, whether it be a war. But I'm gonna try and stick to my game plan as much as I can, and try not to go with South Auckland. But man, I guess I'm just gonna play it smart, still be strong, but have faith in my abilities and what I'm capable of. And I know he's gonna try and do his game, and that's the most important thing, is that you can stick to your own game plan. But if I go in there and I take charge, then we'll figure him out. I'll figure him out in the first round and see what he's wanting to do, wanting to throw or whatever. And at the same time, try and push a bit of put a bit of strength onto him.
Absolutely. You mentioned sort of the visualization and you seeing yourself as the champion at light heavyweight. What do you think of the light heavyweight picture at the moment? It's a pretty interesting one. John Jones obviously just exited the division. He's moving up to heavyweight. Jan Blachowicz is the current champ, a sort of fresh champ. And there's a lot of new blood in the division in general. What do you think of the division?
Well, it's still quite a good resume. I mean, the light heavyweight is very strong. They've still got a lot of power, a lot of speed as light heavyweights, and you can have guys who will drop down from heavyweight who would probably feel even more comfortable at light heavyweight, to be honest. And guys that are taller and like I said, more power and strength. It's just Jan he's very strong as well, very strong ground game, and Reyes would be a tough fight as well. So yeah, it's as time comes, I will develop. That's the most important thing, is my skill will develop, and I'll get to the point where I know for sure everything will become clearer, that I will be the world champion. But at that said, I'm just going to try and get this game out first, or this fight out first, and then we'll work towards everything. I'll learn more as I go. I'm not saying that I'm going to come in and try and take over right away. I'm going to come in and I'll learn. I'll go back home and I'm going to try and learn as much ground game as I can, try and get stronger. And also my stand-up as well needs so much more touch-ups. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It is the true Warriors mentality. Speaking of Warriors mentality, you don't need to be a warrior anymore when you're in the shower trying to shave your balls. With the Lawnmower 3.0 from Manscaped, it's got an LED light, 7,000 RPM, will not cut you. They sponsor guys like Max Holloway, Francis Ngannou, and Sugar Sean O'Malley. We're giving you a sexy discount for the Perfect Package 3.0. You get 20% off using the code word submission. Isn't that right, Dennis?
That's right. The Perfect Package 3.0 comes with 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, which is pretty epic, and also the patented high-performance anti-chafing Manscaped boxes. So go on manscaped.com right now, use that code word submission, get you 20% off, and man, free shipping. What could be better?
That's right. Couldn't be better. For anybody who goes on the internet, who scours all the dark places of the internet, downloads a whole bunch of things, you need to be protected. You need to protect yourself from people stealing all your details, credit card information, and everything. And that's where Pure VPN comes in with their sexy Halloween discount. They're giving 62% discount along with a trial plan for the very first time. Protects you from all things internet. Over 2,000 servers in 140 countries. You can watch all sorts of streaming services like Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, BBC, iPlayer UK, ITV, and 7 Netflix regions all around the world. And if you use the code submission, it gives you an extra 10% discount on all discounted plans. Isn't that right, Dennis?
That's right, Cass. Super excited to be working with Pure VPN. Why not just try out the service? It's elite. You can do it for just 99 cents for 7 days on a trial and see if you like it for yourself, and we guarantee you will. Use that code word submission, get an extra 10% off. Go to purevpn.com/submission now. Don't miss out on the programs that you love to watch. Don't have to take your computer down to the bottom of the lake and break it with a hammer. Use PureVPN right now and use the Submission Radio code word and do it right now. But Carlos, I know you mentioned it's going to be a crazy 2021, so you're not going to be going too nuts with the ice screen. But how active do you want to fight? Do you want to be as active as some of your teammates at City Kickboxing?
Yeah, definitely. I think now that, say everything falls into place, which I have more confidence and in God's name, man, everything falls into place. It's good to stay busy because then you have the momentum, and it's all about having the winner's stride. And when you have that winner's stride, it just becomes a bit easier. And you just keep that momentum. So I want to definitely go home and keep the momentum, keep watching, keep learning, keep developing, and moving forward. So I'm not going to have too much of a holiday or anything because it's now going to be a full-time job for me. I won't be holding pads for anybody else and getting injured and things like that. Just holding pads because just holding pads is quite for people because I do personal training back home. And it'll just mean that I'll slow down on that and focus more on myself and use a lot of my energy on learning the game. So yeah, man, it's definitely going to be a busy one for me, and I'll treat it like it's a job, man. The job that I really love, and yeah.
It's very exciting always when fighters can sort of leave, their part-time job or full-time job and then focus on fighting full-time. That's always awesome to see. So happy for you, man. We'll let you go in a sec, but just on sort of light heavyweight, I know you just focus on this fight ahead of you, but it does seem like Israel is going to be moving up to light heavyweight as well. He's going to be fighting Jan, so it seems. I know it's, so far down the track, but have you guys had a conversation about that at all? Like what happens if you climb the ranks and then you're in contention for the title? We saw the whole thing with kind of like Daniel Cormier and Cain Velasquez with like heavyweight where DC kind of moved down. What have the convos been like between you guys?
Well, there'll never be a time where we'll fight each other or anything like that. That's out of the books or case. So, if that ever comes up to that point, I guess as you will just have to leave it and then yeah, we'll just never fight each other, man. It's a thing that we have in our gym that we'll never fight each other if it comes to it, and someone will have to give, for that case.
Are you hoping that it's kind of like a slow rise for you, so that by the time you're in contention, maybe Israel's moved on to heavyweight or gone back down to middleweight or something?
Yeah, well, I'm looking at 2022 where it happens for me. So by that time, I know Israel, he'll be able to pick up the heavyweight division, man. And he'll be living up his life, amazingly. So 2022 is when it'll happen for me.
Well, Carlos, we appreciate the time, and I know you're big into visualization and sort of looking into the future. So as we wrap up, just quickly, how are you visualizing this Dana White Contender Series main event for you coming this week? What sort of stands out when you break down the scenarios as to how it plays out?
Well, like I said, I'll go in. I'll try to work my game plan as much as I can, and I'll try not to try not to look for a knockout or anything. But like I said, everything will fall into place if I do the right things. I'm definitely looking for the win, because I have to have that mindset, and I think all fighters need to have that mindset. And I know that Bruno Oliveira will have that mindset as well. He will want to go and win. Because this is the contract. This is something that we've all been working towards for years now, or visualizing for years now. So he's going to come in hard. I'm going to come in strong too. So, but I'm looking for the win. I know that I have so much on me, and I know that I have a stronger will, a very strong will to win. A very strong will, reasoning. My reason, which for my own sense, is that is a lot stronger. So yeah. I'm comfortable, man, and to have Brad and Izzy on my side, with a calm voice, being able to tell me, this and that, it's going to be good, and I'm looking for sure, 100%.
Well, there's huge things in this man's future, perhaps none bigger than a My Kitchen Rules season with Brad Riddell, but we'll have to talk about that next time. Guys, make sure to follow Carlos on... Brad could do it all. He's fixing phones, computers, coaching. There's nothing that man can't do. He's like the $1 million man. But guys, for now, follow Carlos on IG at carlos.ulberg. And of course, get to know this man before the fight. Jump on the account. Some beautiful shots of him hiking. Something we have to talk about in the future. Some good hike spots and stuff like that. Something that we love here on the show as well. For now, watch him live on the Dana White Contender Series this Thursday at 12 Arvo here in Australia. That's a couple of hours later in New Zealand. Of course, Australasia. Super pumped for this main event. Carlos, thank you so much for coming on to Submission Radio for the first time, man. A real honor and pleasure.
Dennis, thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.